Hello everybody, I am Creeper and today I'm back with a brand new Doctor Who merchandise unboxing slash review. Very exciting stuff because this is a bit of a new one for the channel. This is from the upcoming B&M character options range, which is coming towards the end of this month, I believe. Not sure exactly when, but I've been sent this over by Character Options, and I want to just say a massive thank you to them. This is the 5th Doctor and TARDIS from Caves of Androzani. I'm very excited to get into the packaging, open it up, see what's inside. You know, have a look about it. I want to make it clear that although this is a review and although they have sent it to me, it is not a sort of paid deal where I give it an entirely 100% glowing review. I'm going to review it fairly and honestly, so the people at home who are watching this video get a fair representation of what the product is like, its flaws, its positives, etc. They've just sent it to me early so I can do this review to sort of spread the word about this set, and yeah. Very exciting stuff. So I think we'll just get started by looking at the packaging. Apologies for the light, by the way. Big window right there, so that's going to happen. And obviously your monitor in front of me, so that's also going to happen. You've got a sort of side window here, which is very nice. I like that. You've got sort of the basic sort of packaging that was very reminiscent of the 4th Doctor set that we had earlier this year. Pretty much exactly the same in that. It's got the 13th Doctor's TARDIS there, the new series logo there. It tells you what series it's in, and then you've got like Doctor and TARDIS set, gives you the title, got a lovely limited edition badge which we never had before, so the limited edition thing's quite nice. On the side you've got some more details on there, with opening doors, it's quite exciting. And on the back you've got a nice little rundown of the story Caves of Androzani, how the TARDIS and the Doctor were in it, why they look like this, etc. If you want to pause it, you can have a read of that now. If not, you can wait till yours gets picked up from the lovely store of B&M. And yeah, I think that's pretty much that. It's the same on all sides really. Got a picture on there, picture on the back, more details on top, and then some legal stuff on the bottom, which we're not really going to get into. Just a sort of description of how to open the door, how to open and close the door. But anyway, that's pretty much about it for the box. It's a very basic but lovely, gorgeous looking box. I do love these styles, and I suppose we'll just have to get into it now. So yeah, that's going to be exciting. And there we are, outside the boxes. Before we get onto the figures, which is obviously the bit you've all been waiting for, we're going to talk about the background of the box, because again, they've absolutely smashed it out of the park here. So with the last one, they had a sort of interior unit backdrop. This time they've got the sort of wasteland desert with all the big explosion in the background and everything from Caves of Androzani, exactly where the TARDIS would have been standing in that episode. It's got the muddy ground as well. Which actually does look great for the toy to stay in. So if you want to keep the back box, you actually could. I've kept the back box for my unit one because I think the TARDIS works really well in the unit backdrop. But yeah, no, it's a lovely little back diorama, and I'm pretty sure the Sharda box has exactly the same thing as well. We're going to talk about the 5th Doctor figure first. So it is just your bog standard 5th Doctor. The trousers, I believe, are wrong for this story, but that's not a massive issue. I'm not one of those people who really like die hard cares about which figure's standing with which box specifically in that, you know, that sort of thing. But it has got the gorgeous paintwork showing off the mud and sort of scalding of the coat almost. It looks gorgeous. In exactly the right place. I believe we've had this figure before. I might be wrong. If we haven't had this figure before, then I think we had it with Colin Baker's head, which might be the version we already had, but there was a version of this with the coat and everything that did exist, I think, the coat model and the paint job and all that sort of thing. But it's gorgeous to see it on the 5th Doctor in an official release set, and yeah, it's a great little variant to have with a B&M set. I know last time they released the 4th Doctor box with a freshly regenerated 4th Doctor, and I wasn't too keen on that, but I love this. I love how it's not just the standard costume of the Doctor. It is a sort of different version. So if you've already got all the Doctor figures, you're still getting something new here with Caves of Androzani battered look. For a B&M figure, I have to say the paint apps are fantastic. B&M over the last few years, they've been getting better with their ranges. I know that because it's still character options. I totally understand that. But I've commented on the past about how some of the paint apps haven't been ideal, with the Bill figure in the 12th Doctor set, for example, and little things like that. But the paint apps here are like wonderful. They are almost perfect. They look great. There's no sort of smudging anywhere. I mean, it just looks pretty much the best version of this figure you're ever going to have, really. I think it genuinely does look absolutely gorgeous. The hair's got a lovely darker wash in between the blonde, which really sets it off, and I think, yeah, it's just a gorgeous looking figure, and I really am happy that they decided to use this version for the B&M release, and they've done such a brilliant job with it, so yeah, props to them. Talking of the box now, though, the thing about the box is I'm a big sort of TARDIS box collector type person. I've been trying to get one for each Doctor, whether it's customised or all that sort of thing. So this is a nice little addition to the collection. I already do have the 7th Doctor box, and I will tell you, it is 90% the same mould as you probably expect, but you can probably see one key difference on screen here, is that this one's smaller, and that's because they have a new base. The older ones had a nice thicker thing at the bottom, like a big thick base. This one does not. It's a very thin base, actually, and it has a very smooth bottom as well, which is actually quite nice. You've got a lovely square base, much smaller than the last one. It actually sets it off a lot more, I feel, the TARDIS box. Other than that, from the base upwards, it is the 7th Doctor box, done in a sort of slightly cheaper formula. And the reason you can understand that is because the box always will feel a bit waxy. It does, and I've got used to it by now, but the B&M ranges have this feeling and looking a bit waxy, which is just a bit odd, but I can look past it because really it's on display. I'm not touching it all the time and I'm not playing with it, so that's fine. Opening the box is the first thing. There's no interior card, as expected. I might add my own in, at some point when I get the time, but that's just expected. That's your bog standard TARDIS box. It's got the electric sort of speaker hole and the battery compartment, even though it's not electronic. But again, that's just because it's using the moulds of the original ones that were released years ago, which were electronic. That being said, that's probably the only downsides I've got with this. This box is gorgeous, 100%. Probably the best looking box we've had from the B&M ranges. I did like the 3rd Doctor box, but it was a bit bright. I do like the 4th Doctor box, but they had a few inaccuracies in the signage and all that sort of thing, and there's a few colours on the 4th Doctor box. This is gorgeous, 100%. Probably the best box to come out of the B&M range. I haven't looked at the Sharda one yet, obviously because I haven't got it yet, but when I do, I'll be doing a review of that, hopefully on the channel, and yeah, I'll be talking about whether I prefer that one or this one, but this one's definitely a good contender. It looks absolutely wonderful. My favourite bit about it is just the fact that it looks weathered. It's not brand new, and I think that's the thing with the 7th Doctor box, is it does look brand new, which that box kind of did. It was a bright blue, it was a lovely looking type of box. This one, on the other hand, does not have that, and instead just looks gorgeous. It is a sort of battered look, a little bit like the Tennant box, but not like overly battered like the War Doctors. There's like sort of slight, I'm not even talking about the bottom yet, but there's slight sort of mud and darker carvings of weathering around the box as a whole, and that is just, it looks gorgeous, it looks great. They've done a fantastic job with that, making it look used, dirtied. The windows are probably my favourite bit because they've got a lovely yellowy kind of glow to them, even though there's no light on the back, and that's something really difficult to achieve, so I can appreciate how they've done that. They've darkened down the windows with a bit of weathering as well. And obviously, people have talked about the mud at the bottom. A fantastic part of this being a Caves of Androzani set is the fact you've got the mud at the bottom, because the TARDIS was standing in mud and did have a muddy bottom to it. So it's lovely to have that inclusion of being in that story, having the mud there. We've had a 5th Doctor box. We've not had a 5th Doctor box before, but we've had this model. And obviously they can release loads of these boxes in different formats and all that sort of thing. And if you really don't like the mud and you want to just have a standard 5th Doctor box, I'm sure you can find a way to paint over it. But I don't want to. I think it's gorgeous. I think it looks gorgeous on display, and I think really it fits in lovely with like the rest of the TARDISes. And I think genuinely, yeah, I just love it. I think it works incredibly well. And probably one of my favourite designs today in regards to a B&M box, or any of the TARDIS boxes really. It looks gorgeous, and it probably looks the most accurate that I've seen to most of the classic boxes, other than the 7th Doctor one, which looks really, really close. This one is almost on the same level as that, looking like the on-screen prop, and I think that's really, really difficult to do, so I can appreciate the efforts from Character Options and Alduer putting this in. Absolutely fantastic job there. But yeah, that's pretty much all I really want to say. Thank you so much for watching. I want to give another massive thank you to Character Options once again for sending me this early before it gets into the B&M stores. It was very, very exciting when this arrived and I could open it and have a look and actually have it in my collection before it's even in stores, and that is incredibly exciting, and it's been an honour to be able to review this early for the channel, so I really do appreciate Character Options for sending that out for me to review. But yeah, that's kind of how I think I would absolutely recommend this. It's a bit of a given. I've been very, very positive, and that's not even that's not even like, preemptive or trying to hide anything. I'm not trying to hide anything. Like, I genuinely, there's not many things to dislike about this set. It is gorgeous. The box looks great, the figure looks great with it, and this is going to take a big spot on my display, looking brilliant. I just cannot wait. This is amazing. Absolutely go and get it when it releases in B&M later this month. So yeah, that's very exciting. I think that's all I really want to say though. Please do leave a like if you enjoyed the video, comment below for any more suggestions in the future, subscribe to the channel with notifications on if you haven't already, because YouTube's a bit of a mess, so that's fair enough. We've got a Patreon page for early access and exclusive content if you want to check that out now. Perfectly fun. We've also got a Discord server if you want to join the conversation as well. That's always an option. Talk about character options, talk about Doctor Who merch, talk about what you like to see in the TARDIS range next. If we're up to me, and I'm going to just put this out there now, I'm probably going to do a video about this in the future, but I was talking to someone the other day, and I personally think that if they're going to do some big finish stuff and they're going to do some TARDIS boxes, why not have a War Master set with a time capsule? I'd love that. Just going to put that out there right now. Anyway, that's pretty much it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.